I'm very glad to see how quickly small-scale production, craft production, is developing in our country. And you can just come to Vinnytsia and film the second episode of Craft Journeys.
So I'm Yevhen Sinelnikov and this is Craft Journeys. Let's go.
I'm Yuri.
I'm Maria, and we make textile products from scraps of textile production.
We are not just engaged in weaving, but in ecological weaving. That is, most of these products are made from leftover fabrics that remain after the production of various items. Typically, 20-25% of textile material remains after processing and is usually discarded. We save it, sort it again, cut it into pieces, and make various textile products. We started making our products with rugs, the traditional Podilian rug that has been made here for many centuries. When we are at home, we enjoy being barefoot on it because it is so warm and so on. And when you hold it in your hands, it feels very pleasant to the touch, right?
Yes, that's true.
And we thought it was very wrong to deprive a person of the opportunity to touch something so pleasant only in the morning or in the evening. And we thought that we should make other things from such fabrics, things that will be
Everyday things, right?
throughout the day with a person, yes. And we started with laptop cases just like the one you're holding. There are also makeup bags and women's handbags. Now we've started making these small wallets, the kind that can be with a person.
You know what I want to tell you? So, a view from the outside. This is more or less traditional.
It's kind of traditional, but it can be different. And we try to make weaving not so much historical, something you can show in a museum, but something that would be pleasant to have in a modern apartment, to take with you.
Look at this, friends. I'll show you now, but this is no longer available because I'm taking it for myself, 100%.
Here we try to weave in tripillion symbols, and here, excuse me, is the symbol of passing on the family line. A little man like this, with several limbs. And these are also tripillion tridents here, so it's all here.
Oh, this is pure Tripillian culture, so I'm definitely taking it.
We try to make things like this.
Oh, how pleasant it is.
These are finished products. And this is also a tripillion symbol. It's a symbol of prosperity.
Damn, I need a symbol of prosperity too. I see. You also have here...
Shopper.
Shopper?
Shopper, we called it Ivanka.
Tell me, so it looks like it's made from leftover pieces, so each color is a leftover, right?
So we get leftover fabrics. They can be of very different sizes. Then they are cut by hand. And later they are woven on a hand loom. And then our seamstresses finish the final product from this blank.
And that's just really cool.
This is a Carpathian symbol from Kosivshkina, and it's made from natural wool. And natural wool isn't very pleasant against bare skin.
Well, yeah.
So we were thinking about how to protect it in a way that would also show this very beautiful pattern, this nice texture, but also so it would feel cool against the body.
Cool.
And so you can even, when going to the store, you can take it off and have 2 bags at once.
How's that?
I don't know, to pour milk or beer. Or to take something else. And so it turns out 2 bags.
Cool, and very modern.
This very approach with transparent things, these inserts, it's very trendy right now.
And the orange ones, that's our joint collaboration with the airline SkyUp. And this is the flight attendant's uniform which the airline provides us. Our women, again, cut it into small pieces. And we make various things for travel, and we collect this way.
So this bag has been to many countries, right?
Yes, and this way we collect money for... It's a center called Levchik in Lviv, which works with children with autism. So by buying such things, you are also helping children.
This is for a laptop, right?
This is for a laptop. So we try to make things out of these flight attendant costumes, things that at least we associate with travel. So these are some things for a laptop. These are travel cosmetic bags. Essentially, bring items that will be practical and beneficial during your trip.
How does it come to life?
We started by simply making these mats. We hadn't seen anything else, anything as pleasant or similar that would feel like these materials we make. That's why we would like weaving to be among people again, among us, because these handmade crafts are actually difficult. To make one mat, a person has to work the whole day. If this weaving isn't preserved, it will simply end up only in a museum. And that's actually why we're trying to make these things modern. First of all, secondly, to bring them closer to people so that a person can be with them all day, touch them, feel them.
I'm just looking at this bag, but this is fashion.
Don't you have some kind of fashion show there?
We haven't done a fashion show like that yet, but if someone wanted to, we'd be happy to partner up. We haven't done it with that yet, but what have you done it with? Ksenia Schneider did that. She ordered blanks from us for her collections. And one of her collections, by the way, was shown in London at Ukrainian Fashion Week. And there were actually models made from those blanks.
So I took a shot in the dark, but I was right, wasn't I?
Yes, well, you could say that.
You probably really can't see it, can't feel it. Well, you can't feel it, but to the touch, it's just so touchable. You really want to touch it. This one's mine, touch something else. Yeah, I really like it. I love it when traditional things look modern and stylish. I just really like that. So let's get them. I'll take that rug, I'll take this bag.
Overall, in Ukraine, this is a big problem because a lot of textiles, up to 25% of the fabric that's cut, is thrown away later because it's leftover. We don't have textile recycling in Ukraine at all. Globally, it's also a very challenging material to recycle. In fact, such traditional weaving is almost the only way to recycle it, and then you can use such things for many more years.
Is this a cosmetic bag?
Yes, this is a spacious cosmetic bag.
Men's?
Definitely men's.
I'll take this one too. How long have you been doing this anyway?
We started this during coronavirus disease. I work at Nasze Podillia, a public organization focused on environmental education for children. We created a deep household waste sorting station, and there we sorted more than 30 different types.
Wow, 30 types?
We used to understand that things were bad with textiles, but there we realized, well, completely that things were really bad with textiles because a person comes there with their household waste, let's call it that, and says, well, where am I supposed to put, say, my pants? And then we realized that we needed to try something, well, like to look for and think in this direction. And it so happened that probably a few years before that, we bought a house in the village of Stina because it's remote, and people there have preserved a lot of such
Traditions,
yes. So we thought, why not combine this modern challenge related to textile recycling with our traditional skills of making cool things?
Well, that's cool. This is a wallet, right?
Yeah, kind of. It's a wallet.
And this one is a bit bigger.
For bigger money. This one is for 50 and this one is already for 1,000.
for euros, for 500 euro bills.
Yes, this is for 500 euro bills.
Damn, then I need this one.
Because here we already use those buttons with magnets that close quickly, and here it's more of a classic thing.
I just want to, finally understand, is this made by weavers from the village?
This is made by weavers from the village.
So they are the ones who decide the color, the shape, right?
So our village weavers are quite advanced in terms of style.
Yes.
Yes, okay, then please count for me so that I have enough. Cool, right?
Very cool.
Well, we haven't had such wealthy buyers in a long time, I'd say.
So what, Musik, will you give me some money and how much do they cost?
Well, if it's simple weaving, they cost less. So, for example, these jeans cost 1,250, I think. And this one costs, it's a bit smaller, it costs 1,800.
In my opinion, it's a bargain.
By the way, we have a lot of beautiful photos by Maria about our village. And here are our weavers.
Real village women.
This is important. To some extent, its survival depends on us. We have one sad story about craft in our village. You probably know about the Borshjev embroidery, those rich black sleeves.
Yeah.
In the village of Stina, there was also very similar embroidery, black on white. And it is also connected with a legend or historical fact about how many people were killed during the siege. And in memory of this, the residents, a very, very long time ago, for several centuries, embroidered only with black threads. But now, after the Soviet era, there is no one left alive who can embroider like that. And to some extent, it's up to us whether this weaving will also remain only in the museum.
Alive, right?
And we'll be saying, oh, how great it all was, how talented our masters were, just like people often write in the comments. My grandma and great-grandma had it, and I have something similar in the attic, and so on, but it will never live again. No, our mission is to do everything in our power to keep this weaving alive. And in order for it to stay alive, we need to make it, first of all, fashionable, so that people want to have it in their homes, and also profitable, especially for the craftswomen, because if the craftswomen feel that it brings them some income, they will teach their children.
100%.
And this circle must not be broken. It's very important for us Ukrainians not to break this circle, because this is what makes us a nation.
Well, when you buy such a bag, you're not just buying a bag, you're continuing our Ukrainian traditions. Do you understand what we're encouraging you to do?
My name is Mikola.
And I'm Maria.
And we grow lettuce leaves.
Before you enter our farm, you need to sanitize yourself so that you don't bring in any bacteria and our plants don't get sick.
I washed myself properly, I'm not that dirty.
The level of toxicity is equal to rock salt.
Do you do this every time you go in there?
Yes. You know how traffic rules are written in blood? Well, here our rules are also written by experience, bitter experience, unfortunately.
Yes. So, since this is a vertical farm, we're in an enclosed environment which gives us a number of advantages over traditional farming.
First, there's minimal chance that pests will get in here.
That's why it allows us not to use pesticides and plant protection systems.
That means our products are absolutely pure. I can just take a leaf and...
Of course, it's your leaf.
You can eat it right away because it's absolutely pure. Of course you can.
Maybe I'll try it too.
Absolutely pure, of course.
As you can see, we grow not in soil, but in a special water solution with mineral fertilizers.
Exactly.
We have special mineral wool that holds our roots, and inside here our solution flows.
Saturated with minerals, and we deliver these minerals directly to the plant.
So when a plant is in the soil and exactly the same minerals are added, we pour them into the ground. But only 10% stays near the plant, and everything else goes down into the groundwater.
And it causes salinization.
So here you have 100%, right? And we deliver, roughly speaking, like Nova Pošta, directly to the destination.
Nova Pošta, contact us for advertising.
And to us as well.
Since our system is fully looped, meaning we have our main tank where the entire solution is located.
It is supplied through a pump to the racks, flows through, and returns back.
This allows us to use up to 90% less water than in traditional cultivation.
There is an automatic system that controls the content of these nutrients.
For instance, if an indicator exceeds or falls below the norm, the automatic system responds. For example, if there are fewer nutrients, it adds them.
The automation does everything itself. There is no soil here, no pests. Just take it and work.
Everything is very easy? That's right. In general, we have one person who handles everything completely. That is, collection, planting, and so on. And at the same time, she doesn't work a full work week. That is, there aren't 40 hours in a week.
Damn cool, this is just the perfect business. But there must be some kind of but 100%, otherwise everyone would do it.
Of course. First, like any agribusiness, there are its own risks here.
There are many types of plant diseases that require precise identification and treatment.
If, for example, the automation system malfunctions and gives too much fertilizer or too little, or there are some other nuances, for example, the acidity drops too much, these are all very big stresses for the plants, plus there is a high cost due to electricity. For example, when we were just starting the business, the price of electricity for industrial consumers was $3.60. Today, it's $8 to $12 per kilowatt.
But overall, this is already our third year working on this.
Today we are working with the top 5 restaurants in the city.
And also, our products are available in the Fruktova Lavka chain of farmers' stores.
Today we grow 5 types of lettuce. We have romaine lettuce, the most popular Batavia green lettuce and Batavia red lettuce.
And how long does it take to grow?
42 days.
42 days?
Yes.
Well, that's not so many actually.
42 days, yes. And we have a full cycle going around.
So, for example, the first time we started, it's 42 days. And then we harvest every 2 days.
So a harvest every 2 days?
We have control over the harvesting process and frequency. It all depends on how we set it up.
It depends on the amount of sales, right?
Yes, here's another lettuce. Oak leaf lettuce. Here it is.
Its leaf looks like an oak leaf. That's why it's called that.
Here's another type of our lettuce, Salanova butterhead lettuce.
Such a little flower.
Beautiful.
Some people say it tastes like butter.
Some notes.
Tasty. It looks really beautiful. Just out of curiosity, how expensive is it to get into this business?
A square meter of the farm costs about $800 to $1,000.
Well, it's not cheap.
Is that already with the pumps or?
Just this thing?
This is already fully turnkey. You've been working for 3 years now.
Yes. No, we are not yet making a profit and are still recouping our investments.
We are still
recouping our investments.
There were different circumstances, like the beginning
of the war.
Blackout maybe for you here. Blackout, yes.
Plus, when the war started, Maria and I realized that salad is not a product of primary necessity.
Not everyone will immediately rush to buy salad, so we decided to stop production.
You walk into these kinds of production facilities and think, do I also have a basement? Is this some kind of special thing, right? This.
It's a special substrate. The plant itself is stored in it.
This is what the seeds look like.
Yes, we use Dutch seeds.
First, you need to pour water over all of this and mix it thoroughly. And then...
In one piece?
We plant them one by one.
So I understand this is not Ukrainian, right? We used to use Ukrainian before.
Now maybe the manufacturers of this substrate are watching and wondering what's wrong.
Why is the Ukrainian one worse than the Polish one? Size. The Ukrainian one is much bigger.
So for our system, we can't afford to use the bigger one.
For example, there's also a square meaning right here. So it's already divided. And then we need to... After the lecture, he cut it and transplanted it. When we already need to transplant into larger sections, we can easily handle the cutting.
I'm for the business.
Ukrainian used.
Ukrainian ingredients.
Please do, because the salad makers say that this extracts the right aroma. Substrate. Our substrate is not very good, but it should be very good. Yes.
There was also a problem that they were solid, meaning we had to make all the holes by hand, extra work.
Thanks to the light, thanks to the fertilizers, thanks to the temperature, all of this can be adjusted.
That is, you can adjust the density, you can adjust its color, you can adjust its height, and so on.
What did you study, or are you currently learning something?
We actually studied in Warsaw in business.
University, that is.
Professionally, as if we were taught how to run a business, but what kind exactly, of course, there was no such variation there. We chose the agricultural field and we didn't learn this anywhere. And we learned here from our own mistakes, step by step, so to speak. And one day, of course, while we were in Poland, even when we were still students, Mikola came across an article.
Thank you to the Master of Ceremonies Today editorial team.
So tell me, what article? That the vegetarian market in Ukraine is growing rapidly?
And there was also a list of niches that are promising specifically in this market. In general, what's the advantage of our salad? It's because we make it just like I showed you with the root.
We also leave it with the root, we don't cut it off. That is, our salad can stay fresh for up to 2 weeks.
So it doesn't go over right here.
Whole.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Oh, he's so hairy. Just
one at a time.
Let's start from this corner. Yes, I take 4. The other.
I'm making a wrap.
The work isn't hard, but it's a bit meticulous. Wow.
In general, our whole process is divided into 3 stages. This is our first stage.
Here we sprout the seeds, the ones you planted.
We water it there and send it to our day zero. Here it is.
Is located and
it's here like this. We cover it with a lid. It's kind of like sprouting in an incubator.
This is made for our plants to take root well. Second
department. Here, as you can see, there is always water. Here, this is the method of constant flooding. This is done so that we have already grown the leaf mass.
This is what the root looks like now. You see it's white, light colored, that's the plant itself, and here it is already growing further.
At different stages we use different light spectra. So you can see there we have blue, here is blue, so this is for seedlings there. For adults we have more of the red spectrum. And here, for example, they grow with us, they are already bigger, and after that we take each cube and transplant them to our third stage. Here, we use the nutrient film technique. And why did you choose lettuce instead of onions or spinach?
When entering the market, we have a harvest 365 days a year, and lettuce is still a more seasonal product, so it's more profitable for us to grow what people will need regardless of the weather or the time of year, and that's why we chose it.
That's the business school. That's exactly the logic of the school.
Lettuce can be plentiful in the summer for many, but
in winter, just
come to us.
Although actually we don't speculate on this, our product price is the same both in summer and in winter.
By the way,
the automation just turned on. The sensor considered that the fertilizer concentration was lower and our pumps turned on.
Here is our main nutrient solution, so this is how it looks.
They will see this in the video. Put it back.
But where did I tear it off? It will be visible by the leaf that I tore it off.
A pest is curled up.
Damn tasty, really tasty salad. Rich flavor.
In February 2021, we were set to begin our master's program in Sweden.
But we made a choice in favor of Ukraine. Why don't we regret it? Because right now we're supporting our Ukrainian economy, we're supporting our Ukrainian businesses, including those same restaurants and shops, and they have the opportunity to purchase Ukrainian products, and people have the opportunity to consume Ukrainian products. So this is also kind of
a cycle that's very
important right now for supporting our country.
It's like those micro elements that you
add to
water, just like you are that micro element added to the economy. Листя салату росте і вдень, і вночі. А знаєте, що ще має працювати 24/7 правильно і помсти? It is precisely so that the armed forces of Ukraine can strike enemy equipment and manpower around the clock that the Serhii Chula Charity Foundation, together with Uklon and the Emoji Fest Holding, are raising funds for 2,500 day and 2,500 night first-person view drones. The fundraising goal is 130 million Ukrainian hryvnia.
Just as I planted the lettuce seeds, Uklon and Fest have made the first contributions of 5 million Ukrainian hryvnia each.
But in order to, so to speak, harvest the crop, your participation is needed, just like those very minerals.
So join the fundraiser by following the link in the description or simply by scanning this quick response code. Together, we will make revenge around the clock.
I am Alexander.
I'm Katarina.
And we are making spicy.
And insanely spicy sauces.
I don't remember. Did we talk about your sauces last time? Or did we just talk about your volunteering?
We mentioned the sauces a little, and I think we even tried some there.
It tastes best with fried moskalikiv.
So today we'll try it properly. So is the business doing well? Are people buying the sauces?
Everyone wants something spicy like this.
We are trying to promote the culture of eating spicy food.
So we're promoting the idea that spicy food isn't just about pain, it can actually be delicious.
It's tasty, and the spiciness complements and enhances the flavors.
Oh, these are like a 10 out of 10 on the spicy scale.
Yeah, it's hellishly spicy.
They take different snacks peanuts and wasabi and something else, and throw them all into one big bowl. And then they add these peanuts.
Just a little bit, right?
They mix it all together, unaware of what awaits them. It's simply the luck of the draw. They drink beer, eat.
Those who poured it, they know.
And it's like that burning.
Well, if it's the spiciest in Ukraine, then I think...
Yes, the economical option for a large amount of beer.
Cool. Will we have the garlic separately or try it at the beginning?
At the beginning, while the taste buds are still...
Yeah. While they're still there, right?
Oh, that's good. I'll answer a question many people have in advance. Why is it black?
This is the Maillard reaction process. More simply, it can be called aged garlic. That is, it is placed in special chambers where a certain temperature and humidity are maintained. Some compounds are removed and others...
So there is nothing, no sugars, nothing is added there?
Nothing. Now I'll show you how it's made. Right now it's 59 degrees there. That's already the end.
It's like regular garlic, just a bit darker.
It's kept in whole heads, and then we'll peel it.
Here it is.
It's black inside.
It's warm?
Such an unusual thing.
We encourage everyone to try it out.
Such an unusual thing.
How much does a jar like that cost? A jar of 60 grams of selected black garlic costs 150 hryvnias.
And how long does it stay here?
About 3 weeks.
It would seem, what is this, garlic?
That's why the price is like that. That's why the price. Because it stands there, it's using electricity all this time.
But it's worth it.
That's exactly how it is. Including truffle, because the price is a bit higher than regular garlic, of course.
Let's go try the sauce.
Let's go to the sauces.
Cranberry sauce, our mildest sauce.
Oh, what a tangy taste it has. Well, it's not spicy at all, just a little bit.
It has a warming tone.
Next, a sauce with a name like this. Russia, no, peace. Yes.
Russia, no, peace, yes.
Peace, yes, oh yes.
This is our vision of sweet chili sauce. Beautiful. And a pleasant spiciness. Not too strong. It's just so cool.
That's a 3, right?
Yes. I definitely won't get a 15 anymore.
There are napkins. You can cry.
With black garlic sauce, this is basically one of our new items.
Well, and it's exclusive because nobody else makes this.
And it's exclusive. Nobody really makes this.
A little bit. For me, it's the perfect option because it has both spiciness and flavor.
And flavor.
You eat calmly and don't worry.
Well, overall, I'll tell you this. Our sauces are exactly the thing where the spiciness and flavor last until the very end. We just work really hard to achieve this so that the flavor remains, because a lot of spicy sauces just burn.
They're just spicy, that's all.
The taste is unclear, resembling an overripe plum, but it's actually delicious.
You can have more.
Even when it's spicy, that's our specialty.
There's some sourness, some sweetness. It's made with a soy sauce base. And then there are spices and black garlic.
No, I'm telling you for sure, I won't have a 15th one.
And we also have, for now, a seasonal sauce. We had this jalapeno in limited quantity, fermented with cilantro, lime, onion, and garlic.
With lime? Nice. What an aroma.
Well, when it's fermented, it always smells nice.
And now it will start to reveal its spiciness. It's like that. It works with a bit of a delay. That's already 4.
Another spoon.
That's already 4.
This could be a legend, but we do everything with Vinnytsia. Either this suits us in terms of quality, it's cheaper, and we want to take exactly this calapeco.
In the production of sauces, we try to take everything local. That's our desire. But of course, if it wasn't good quality, we wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
Economic factors and logistics also play a role here, to be honest.
Well, yes, of course.
Of course, if we keep finding that what we have isn't enough, then we'll involve other regions as well. But all of Ukraine, it's all our local area. It doesn't really matter if it's Vinnytsia, Kievshchina, or Khersonshchina.
Next, we have the pomegranate sauce. It's also rated 4. It's about the same level.
But it's just not spicy.
Well, now for you, it will be about the same, basically. One of the most popular sauces because it's liked both by those who love spicy.
It's one of the most popular dishes and isn't very spicy, enjoyed by everyone.
That is, it opens up slowly.
Like a fire that gradually flares up, little by little, little by little, little by little.
Very tasty.
Sweet, real awesome pomegranate sauce and not very spicy.
This is pineapple with habanero orange peppers.
Oh, you can even smell that it's spicy.
And it's sharper than regular habanero. Habanero is smoother. Habanero orange hits you like this. Ba-bam.
Nice. It's not as intense in terms of spiciness, it's pleasant.
Phew, it's good that you have, how many, about 10 of them, right, in total?
It's a fermented pure pepper sauce that turns out sour.
Our version of Tabasco is much tastier. Why is that? There's less vinegar here, it's less sour, and has a richer flavor.
This is a new level of spiciness compared to the previous ones.
Oh, God.
Well, imagine in tomato juice, in borscht a little bit, right?
Just a little bit, a few drops.
Or you just take regular ketchup, add a little bit of this, mix it, and it's already a completely different taste.
So you can combine it with some other sauces, no problem. And you can even add it to marinades as well.
Well, tasty.
Tasty.
Tasty. And it smells divine.
This is really a whole different level.
A different level, yes.
Here the sauce has spiciness, and here the spiciness has the flavor of the sauce.
You pointed that out very correctly.
Oh, an 8.
This is barbecue sauce.
It's insidious because it doesn't burn right away.
Well, what can you do?
By the way, you're tasting it the right way. Not on your lips, but directly on your tongue.
Professionally.
Already experienced, because then your lips will look like Angelina Jolie's.
At first, it's not sharp.
In general, yes.
It's like tasty. And then gradually it builds up. And the more you eat it, the stronger its spiciness gets.
Not very spicy.
Tasty?
Well, it's tasty, yes.
Oh, damn it. No, it's fine.
It's fine, I thought it would be worse. And it's really cool how it builds up, and then suddenly it's over.
The peak has passed and now it's declining.
And the taste remains.
It burns, it really burns.
My tongue is burning.
Yeah, it even made me break out in a sweat.
First, the nuts. I recommend that you chew them as long as possible. We chew so that it dissolves in your mouth on its own.
The longer we chew, the more effective it will be.
Nice, tasty nut.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Here's a surprise.
Thank you for not doing 3 at once.
Oh, damn it. Nice. First a tasty nut.
And after that, like,
Chuck, boom. It doesn't open slowly, but...
Nut, and then bang.
That's how extra hot peppers that are added there work. There are 3 of the hottest peppers in the world. Carolina Reaper, Trinidad Scorpion, and Ghost Pepper. These peppers burn exactly like that. At first, you taste the pure flavor of the pepper, if present. And only then, gradually, the spiciness builds up and reveals itself. Because of these peppers, that's exactly how it works.
I thought that was it, but it keeps going. Oh, everything's running, my nose, my tears.
That's a wonderful reaction. You might even start hiccuping.
Yeah, I get it. In the small set, it looks like. So how about those nuts?
enough.
I guess I just don't feel it at all right now.
No.
I like your, is that all? Pull yourself together, let's get to work.
You're about to taste it, I'll say the same thing. Well, go ahead.
In general, just a little bit. On the tongue, God forbid on the lips.
Even a minuscule crack on your lips means you're finished.
This can also be used as a spice.
Cocktails, sangria, tomato juice.
Thank you, just 3 drops.
It's made from the hottest pepper in the world, Carolina Reaper. It's about 80% of the sauce's composition. The rest is just salt, vinegar, and so on.
And what if it's from sorrel?
It's hard to say. Approximately, based on subjective feelings, about 1 million.
It burns here, and here it already started to smell.
But imagine it as sangria with something like
Yeah, that would be really nice.
tomato juice. Or if you add some Ukrainian moonshine, it becomes a Bloody Mary.
I have a Bloody Mary inside me right now.
What are you laughing at?
With an extract of 9 million, Tabasco is 3,000. This is 9 million.
We gathered. You're a professional.
I'm ready.
The spoon won't be full, but there will be a few drops, like here. It also works like this sauce. Very slowly, it builds up very slowly, it heats up, just like that. Not as sharply as the previous one.
On smoked tomatoes.
Barbecue with a hint of smoke.
Are you sure about a full spoon?
You want this.
So that you would suffer, cry? Was that what I wanted? Always, come on.
Well, with God.
It's delicious.
Initially, a mild bitterness may be present due to the extract in the product.
And gradually, the spiciness will start to increase.
You're like a doctor right now, and gradually, damn it.
It's not gradual anymore.
Next level. Higher, higher.
That's about how labor usually starts.
Wow. Well, it's really tasty.
Let me phrase it now.
And at first, you really taste the flavor. How do you come up with it? It's how much you've eaten it, so that...
Actually, every sauce that's made before it's packaged, I taste it.
Music, come here.
Do you want me to suffer?
At least one.
When it comes to drinking wine, the first hand always reaches out. Involve yourself in all aspects of the winery, or you won't gain anything.
God, what kind of sauce is that? Oh, I thought you...
Yeah, he actually... Ice cream. Jemchik on ice cream next. What should we do with it?
Stir it for a longer time. Just chew.
Until it dissolves in your mouth.
It tastes just like those nuts you get at the store to go with beer. They're sweet, and there's a little bit of a kick to them. There you go. Let's have some more. I think my taste buds are burning out. Can I have some more?
Then more nuts?
Sure.
Oh, somehow it's thinking now.
Well, I think you're ready for this.
Well, guys, to your health.
Good.
That's strong.
It can be really unbearable there.
I think the main thing is not to breathe actively, because then it's like you're fanning the flames.
Friends, I am proud of you.
Team!
I am Dmitry, and I am a winemaker from Vinnytsia.
Everyone says that you have delicious wine.
The best in Ukraine.
Really?
Yes, our Odesky Chorny has been ranked the best in Ukraine among Odesky Chorny for 2 years in a row.
This is our grape variety, our calling card, and we are proud that the best Ukrainian wine is from Vinnytsia.
We can produce about 30 tons of red wine per year and around 22 or 23 tons of white wine.
Aha, that's not all, right? This is just the beginning. Here are the red ones and here are the white ones.
Damn, tell me please, 22 tons? How many bottles is that?
About 30.
30,000 bottles?
Yes.
It will be aged, right?
The taste of the wine during aging in the barrel becomes more rounded.
If you take it young, it will be sharper, more intense, and already such mature old wines that have been in the barrel and then aged in the bottle, they become more rounded, softer, let's say, more refined.
Interesting, more rounded. How many years have you actually been doing this?
It all started somewhere back in the 10th year. Our owner, Volodymyr Karlovich, retired and decided for himself, as he is Georgian, to follow his heart and take up winemaking.
Little by little, there with friends. They started by making 132 gallons of wine, gradually increasing production to 3.5 tons, consuming it all. The following year, they made 5 tons with some leftover.
In 2017, they obtained a license and established a winery entering the market.
That's them, right?
Yes, that's...
These are the barrels.
These are the barrels. What can you see in the episode about Ivan Frankivsk?
I don't know, maybe I'm just that unique, but I'm really interested.
By the way, our Odessa black one, who took all the prize places, was actually in the barrels.
And the barrels are ours, Ukrainian, and these capacities, and the grapes grow here. Well, damn, that's cool. I mean, the whole production...
A fully closed cycle in Ukraine.
The only thing is that auxiliary materials, all the yeast, come from Europe, but now, little by little, maybe they will start producing them in Ukraine too, so that this cycle can be completely closed and it will be purely Ukrainian.
What does it smell like? Oh, and what does this smell like? This is the Vinnytsia brewery.
We're making barley wine together. That's when the beer wort is prepared and poured into an oak barrel where it ferments, and the beer is aged in the oak cask.
Is this beer?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Seriously.
Unbelievable.
Somewhere after New Year's, and then we can try.
This is really very interesting.
Yes, it's kind of a little exclusive thing we have. Well, basically the barrels, wine is poured into them 3 times.
After that, you can't pour wine into them anymore, but you can pour strong alcohol, ferment coffee or beer in them.
Oh yes, this one smells strong.
That's from over there. Our colleagues shared some sherry yeast with us.
We're experimenting with it right now. There's about 600 liters of sherry here.
It's cool that you have successful cases. There. The best of this in black, there's this and that, 30 tons of red wine.
But still, let's try that thing. Let's try this thing.
Yes.
That is a constant search.
Yes, well, you can't stand still. If you stand still, it means you're degrading. You need to constantly develop, look for something new, some new flavors.
This is our bottling. Even though we make like 30,000 bottles a year, they all go through this kind of bottling machine.
It's all done by hand, right?
By hand, yes.
There are 3 men working here, me and 2 other guys.
One washes the bottles, another pours, and the third corks them and puts them in the container.
30,000 bottles.
Well, without much effort, in one working day, when it was necessary, we could bottle thousands of bottles.
Oh, beautiful. There was a big round table here in the middle where Vladimir Karlovich's friends used to gather.
And they drank 3.5 tons, right?
Yes.
That's how it was.
Each container is supplied with nitrogen so that the wine can be stored in these containers for a very long time.
For example, for us, it's 200 per ton.
We need to use 200 liters for bottling to make sure there's no oxygen.
We connect it from the top, turn on the nitrogen goes in from above, and we take the wine out from below.
And the upper space is filled with nitrogen. There's no access to air, so there's no oxidation.
I thought they were pouring already, so I ran over.
And you just can't wait, can you? Does Ukrainian wine have a certain year when the grapes were the best?
17th year was really great in my opinion.
The 23rd year now, although it was difficult. At the same time, if you managed to harvest the grapes during the right period, when it needed to be done, then it turned out great.
It depends on how many sunny days there were, when the leaves started to bud, when the berries started to set, and how much rainfall there was.
This is all very extensive information, and it has a strong influence on the grapes, on the quality of the grapes, and on the wine that will come from them.
Now there is a kind of revival of the Ukrainian consumer who, for the first time, will not buy French, but will buy our own.
Even if it is cheaper, everyone already understands that by the time you bring this wine from France, half of the cost is logistics.
Most French wines up to 1,000 hryvnias are at the level of our Koblevo, more or less. Koblevo also has aged wines that cost us 150, 200 hryvnias.
This is the level of France that came to us for 600, 500 hryvnias, and Italy is the same.
Undoubtedly, there are great wines there. There are wines made at such small wineries, and they cost 200, 300 euros per bottle.
Is it really worth it? I mean, there's a bottle for 1,000 hryvnias and there's one for 300 euros.
Yes and no. There, first of all, you're paying for the name, and only secondly for the wine itself.
Vinnytsia?
Yes, Vinnytsia.
Cool.
It's just the actual name of the wine. It's not a grape variety or anything.
We just named the wine like that. By the way, here on the side of our bottles, this is the work of the Georgian artist Hela Dambadze.
This year we did a small collaboration like that. Wine is art plus paintings.
Show me, please, this Odeski Chorny, the one that won the Grand Prix. The one...
The best in Ukraine? Yes.
It was in 2019 in Odessa. There was a competition called Odeski Zaleb, and we became the best Odeski Chorny and took it to Vinnytsia.
Odeski Chorny, that's...
It's a title wine, yes.
Exclusively Ukrainian wine.
In 1974, Cabernet Sauvignon and Alacan-Bush were crossed.
And they registered it, and now it's the most popular red grape variety, technical Odeski Chorny.
And there are also white ones there, Sukolimansky, Citroni Magarach, but there are fewer of them, not so many, and this one is already like a real calling card of Ukraine.
Try it.
This is from 2017, this is already from 2018, and in the fall it won a platinum medal in Kiev at an international competition.
How much does it cost?
At the time of sale, it cost 700 hryvnias per bottle.
And what about in 2017?
That one, before it won the platinum medal, the best in Ukraine, it was around 300 hryvnias.
Then when we just got it, the price jumped. It was immediately around 500 and now it's at its peak.
Now it needs to be consumed. We've listed it for sale at approximately 1,500 to 1,800 hryvnias, if I recall correctly.
Well, and its quantity is limited, 20 bottles. That's all we have left.
Is this all that's left? This shelf?
Yes.
Yeah, not much. This is Petnat. Tasty, cool, but our first batch was already bought out by good wine.
That's it, right? None left?
Interesting.
It's playful, light, fruity, very refreshing for summer.
And it has a nice tanginess.
It's kind of sour, but the aftertaste is soft, kind of sweet.
But it's completely dry. There's not a single gram of sugar left here.
Now Petnats are conquering the market.
They've been in demand for about 3 years now, let's say.
An interesting product.
People nowadays really care about themselves. They want the most natural food possible and also drinks.
So everything came together. It's tasty, it's natural, and you want to drink it.
Although everyone thinks that pink is for girls, I'll tell you, it's actually a pretty cool wine.
It's like strawberries with cream.
Yes, that's true. Very light.
You just want to keep drinking and drinking.
Yeah, it's just like a compo. It's light because of the special technology used, which minimizes contact with tannins in the skin, so the juice is extracted right away.
And also, this lightness comes from the fact that there's not much alcohol in it.
So it's about 12%, which makes it feel lighter and much more drinkable.
This is perfect. It's like you're drinking wine, there's a bit of alcohol, but it doesn't hit your head that hard.
When it's that Georgian wine, you drink a glass, even white, and you really feel it, like, wow.
We try to make white wines lighter so that you can, let's say that we have a lot of guests coming, big gatherings, and so that you can drink a lot of wine, we make white wines lighter so you could drink 20 liters in an evening with a group.
Yeah, for the group.
From my experience, you can easily drink a liter, and in the morning you don't have a headache or anything. So if it's a light wine, you drink it like water, but you still get pleasure from it. It has its own taste, its own aroma.
And you have a great evening, and in the morning there are no consequences and you feel good.
I'm Mikola, and I'm a butcher from Vinnytsia. Everything we're going to taste, first me, then you, so that the next episodes come out, is prepared using meat and a curing mix. So there are no other ingredients here? We have chicken roulade, we have homemade carbonade, salo, we have jerky and snacks. Jerky and snacks are both dried chicken meat, but jerky is sliced into strips while snacks are cut into cubes. Vinnytsia myasnik. A bit, yes, just like a butcher. Vinnytsia myasnik is a story about giving people an alternative.
So it's also a story born from my childhood when things started to decline with all that cooperative stuff, the whole business story.
And the quality of sausages and ready-made meat products started to decline. And homemade salting according to the standards of meat processing plants was quite uncommon. And I was always curious why people sell a pig, let's say, for 70 hryvnias per kilogram, but buy sausage for 400.
Salted meat equivalent will cost 600 hryvnias.
So basically, like, it's just a pure piece of raw meat rolled in a mixture, put in the fridge for 3 days until the juice runs out of it, and then it just hangs to dry for another 5 to 7 days.
So it's all meat prepared with low temperature processing. That is, all the processing here is up to about 10 degrees. As a result, the moisture is retained, giving it a soft taste.
Delicious. It's so soft and nice.
So you're kind of a craftsman. Yeah, you don't make sausage, you don't make meat, but you make things like this.
Yes.
What is this?
This is a special ready-made mixture for cooking, which mainly contains what people are often afraid of, nitrite salt.
It's a disinfectant. It's a mandatory component in safety standards.
The ingredients are glucose and natural herbs and spices.
This is blend number 5, Kafkaz, which is made for soup, for a story you can try. This is homemade carbonate.
And how is it made?
The same way. A piece of meat is wrapped, covered with plastic wrap, and placed in the refrigerator for 2 days. And then at 75 or 80 degrees, it stays and finishes cooking in the oven.
The mixes take 3.5 to 4 hours to prepare. Each mix has its own number and name. Mix number 2, Vinnytsia, is the most popular.
From the moment I decided to make such a mix just for my family, it took 5 years to get to production. So it's a hobby that grew into a project. If we're talking about mix number 2, it's a less spicy mix. If we're talking about mix number 5, Kafkaz, it will have more pepper, it will be spicier, there will be ajika, and all sorts of Georgian spices. If we're talking about mix number 4, Mont Blanc, it's inspired by French gastronomic flavors. Mix number 7, Fires of Mexico, is already a spicy mix. It will have many different peppers, including Sichuan pepper, which is very aromatic and rich. And mix number 8, Dao, and this is a mix about China. It's a spicy sweet mix, and it will have orange in it.
This mix is commonly used to season fish.
It's such an unusual thing. I mean, make sausage at home.
Risky. In the 22nd year, the war caught me on a flight between Dubai and Kenya. I was at an international world exhibition. And so, when I returned from Kenya to Ukraine at the beginning of March, my business, so to speak, is put on hold, the advertising business, and I start thinking about what to do next. And one of the options for how I could be useful is actually jerky. Since jerky, according to various regulations, is considered tactical food.
It doesn't spoil.
It doesn't spoil, it's lightweight, and basically it retains all its beneficial qualities. So it's the same piece of meat, just much lighter. It's 3 or 4 times lighter than regular meat, and it doesn't spoil. So I start helping people who prepare meat for the armed forces, helping them by giving them this mixture for free, so it would just be easier for them. And for the entire 23rd year, I had a campaign called The Great Salting. That is, any person who agreed to pay for delivery could receive 100 grams of mixture number 2 for free. And I handed out so many of these packets, I stopped counting after 10,000. In total, I sent out somewhere between 15 and 17,000 of these packets, basically just for the cost of delivery. And after that, when people tried it, they started ordering, and everything started moving in that direction. But the mixture has been certified for a long time and has a quality certificate. I call this package the Volunteer Standard. Since the war began, I have been providing this package to volunteers who drive food for the Ukrainian armed forces at no cost. Accordingly, there are 2.5 kilograms here, and for drying you need 23 grams per kilogram of raw material. This package is enough for about 108 kilograms.
For 108 kilograms of raw meat,
but actually that's not much, because there are cases when people dry at home 100, 200 kilograms of finished products, so these are huge amounts. Of course, they have a whole team working on collecting donations. They collect the meat, they vacuum seal it. And my contribution to this whole story of the Volunteer Corps, specifically the meat for the armed forces, is the free provision of this mixture. And I provide them in such packages, which I call the Volunteer Standard.
For 100 kilograms of meat?
The meat is in jerky form.
In jerky or in a roulade, for example, because a roulade also needs 23 grams. For instance, if a person uses this mix only for carbonate or corned beef, 1 pack will suffice for 40 kilograms of raw material.
Can you say, for example, how much this carbonate yields? How much does it cost to make?
Well, approximately.
Well, the cost price, you could say, if somewhere, let's say, the heavy sediment, when it dries, it has only about 15-20%, that's the maximum. If we took a piece that conditionally cost a kilogram, say 200...
Let it be 200 hryvnias.
So this piece of meat, already prepared, becomes 20% more expensive. That's 240 hryvnias. For this piece, it will take maybe 50 hryvnias of spices. So when we take a piece of meat for 200 hryvnias, or 280, 290 hryvnias, we get a kilogram of such carbonate. But people know for sure, they know and control from whom they buy the meat and how they store it. So basically, they have very few technological processes where something can go wrong. One process is to debone in the mixture, set it up, and set the required temperature in the oven, that's all.
So people get a small set. In the small set, there will be 5 different mixtures.
Here is the printed version, where each person can see for themselves how everything is prepared. Recommended. If you share with someone, there is a quick response code on each page. And by scanning the quick response code, you go to the website where there is a recipes section.
And how much does such a set cost?
320 hryvnias.
320 hryvnias for 5 different mixes?
100 grams each. Or a 500 gram pack like this one, 285 hryvnias for any of these mixes.
So that's 4 kilograms each?
Well, for 4 kilograms.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 kilos of meat.
20 kilograms if we're making jerky or snacks or chicken roll. Or about 1 and 6 kilograms, 1 and 7 kilograms of carbonate or salted meat.
Tell me honestly, is this a business or is it a hobby?
Now it's a business that spends most of its profits on charity. Now I like to joke that after the war I'll become a millionaire. I hope that this huge wave of people who tried, both jerky makers and those at different tables, will remain after the war. That's when it will be time to make money.
Right now, since I send free mixes to volunteers, I spend almost all my profit on charity in this way.
Damn, this is tasty meat. It's really tasty, awesome meat. You can't find this in the store.
They dry them differently. They dry them as hard as possible so that even in some serious...
Here it's dry, but it's, well, meat. You can feel it. It doesn't crack.
But actually, all the same, we all eat this stuff in regular sausages.
Not always, but yes, especially in cheap ones. Especially if it's, for example, chips. There's a lot of that in chips. Because we think that chips are such a cool, fun thing, but in chips, first of all, there's a lot of oil. And secondly, in all these products, they really do add some glutamate to make it...
Yeah, you take it and it's so tasty. After that, nothing else compares. Awesome. So I want to figure out what I like more. I keep going in circles and I don't understand.
It all gets prepared very quickly. So I think that to prepare a kilogram of each of these dishes, like a whole kilogram, basically the only time you spend is on chopping. Then it all gets mixed, left to salt for a while, then it's laid out and taken off the dryer. Or it's laid out and taken out of the oven, from the oven chamber.
Or it's put in the fridge or in a dark, dry place, then taken out and it's ready to eat.
So basically, most of this time will only be spent on chopping.
So give it a try.